Listen, I'm not your girlfriend. And I'm not your mother. But you'd better finish that pickle, or else I'm stealing it. Me? I'm a waitress, dummy. Waitresses have to be whatever people want them to be. Yeah, but not today. Don't worry. Thursday's my day off. That's okay. It's nice to sit on the other side of the counter for a change and see how the other half lives. This music, isn't it dreamy? I can tell we have some things in common. We both have to live by our wits. Hitchhiking isn't an easy trade. Waiting tables isn't either. I'll show you what I mean. Corned beef hash with 3 eggs over easy, whole wheat toast and hash browns. 2 eggs scrambled with bacon, sausage, English muffin, and french fries with mayo instead of ketchup. 3 eggs over easy with well done bacon and a side salad, hold the toast, Greek omelet with well done hash browns and white toast, a short stack of blueberry pancakes, coffees all around, and 1 Diet Coke. So, how many orders of toast were there? Okay, here it is. Corned beef hash with 3 eggs over easy, whole wheat toast and hash browns. 2 eggs scrambled with bacon, sausage, English muffin, and french fries with mayo instead of ketchup. 3 eggs over easy with well done bacon and a side salad, hold the toast, Greek omelet with well done hash browns and white toast, a short stack of blueberry pancakes, coffees all around, and 1 Diet Coke. So, how many orders of toast? Yep. Well, unless you count the English muffin. Then it's 3. I figure there's an art to hitching a ride. You have to be able to read people very quickly. Waiting tables is no different. You get to know what people want before they know what they want. It's a sixth sense. When I picked you up, with you it was easy. Your mind is an open book. Seeing you wandering through that street in the suburbs, clutching that strange blue box like a talisman, I could see that you needed a good rest, a good meal, and a dose of friendly advice from someone who's looking out for you. It's good you managed to lose Hops back there. Let me guess, did he try to make you promise to meet him again? Yeah, we've all made a few of those. This highway is practically paved with broken oaths sworn to Hops, patron saint of useless stuff. He doesn't mean badly, Hops. He's just a bit stuck in the past. That's why he has all that junk in his car. Can't let go of anything. Can't change. People like to solve problems with the tools they understand. Hops thinks all the useful tools are in the glove box of his own memory. That's why it's good you got clear of him. He's a bad influence for someone like you. You need to let go to move on. I don't know, but driving in the rearview mirror will only get you so far. You can't live in the past. Well, judging by the faces in this place, you can't live in the present either. Look at these blue screen zombies. Everyone glued to their phones. Depressing. Very funny. That sense of humor will serve you well when our new robot overlords take over. The living dead all around us. Not you two, though. You and your girlfriend. You were very much animated. Although, maybe not in a good way. That was some argument. You were right over there, sitting at the counter. Well, I'm not one to eavesdrop. Something about text messages, being present. The usual suspects when it comes to couple arguing somewhere in public in the 21st century. I only caught the end of it. It was one of those things that suddenly boils over. One moment you were sitting there having your strawberry rhubarb pie and trying to figure out where the next gas station is. The next moment, when I came back with your check, there was this big scene with you storming out the door. Beats me. You didn't come back, though. She hung around for another 20 minutes, mainly talking on her phone. Then she got her stuff and left. Seemed like she was making a plan to meet somebody. Nope. See, I'm not that nosy. But when I was wiping down the counter, I found this. Have a look. You might find it interesting. Weird, right? Gets weirder, though. Check out the back. Seems like some kind of rendezvous. I mean, I figure that's not your card. Beats me. I just work here. Sorry, Copernicus. I've helped you all I can this time. Sure, I can drop you off there once we get out of here. Pass me the menu, will you? I want to see if they have the seasonal milkshakes in yet. Aw, look at that. It's like a little... It's like a little map of your adventures. How convenient. Even your gas station is there. Did you notice? It's a typical sign, you know. Of a lucid dream. Random happenstance. Strange coincidence. This might be a good time to test if you have superhuman strength or can fly or something. I think I'll have peppermint mocha or vanilla caramel. Sure. I mean, come on. Raisin farmer? There's no such thing. Grapes have farmers. Raisins are dried grapes. End of story. Geez, where's the waitress anyway? I'd kill for a shake right now. Well, things become real when we invest meaning in them. When we make them real. It's not a theory. There's a poem about this. A guy is having an argument with his friend. He's freaking out because the meaning of every word, everything, every idea seems to be falling apart. After a while, I understood that talking this way, everything dissolves. Justice, pine, hair, woman, you and I. Exactly. Booth, menu, you, I, mustard, mustard. It all starts to dissolve. It's my day off reading. Well, he remembers this lover he had, and that helps him get his head screwed on straight again. Well, in a sense. It's more that he thinks back to what it was like when they were together, and the different memories come together and leave him with a sense of specificity. That things are real and not just a big pile of words and concepts and stuff that fall apart the moment you try to squeeze them tight. He thinks back to when he was a boy and remembers this river where he would try to catch the little orange silverfish called pumpkin seed. That's nice, right? It feels good to say. Pumpkin seed. Makes things feel more real. Look at me. Don't forget me. See me for who I am. Pumpkin seed. You wouldn't believe how much people project their weird bullshit on me. It's the curse of the diner waitress. Less a real person and more a blank screen. I can't tell you how many swingin' dick Detective McGurks I've met in this place. Give me a coffee as black as a moonless night, darlin'. Shit like that. Are you sure about that? Or is that just what you want me to be? You don't seem to realize that you're the one pulling the strings in here. Well, everyone has an agenda. People think they come to a diner for food, but they're really looking for something much more profound. They want something, and at the end, they settle up. You bring the bill, and they have the chance to make good again. Everybody wants to be forgiven. It's a simple transaction. You're no different. Well, there's that box you're carrying around and want to get open. You're here looking for answers, but only the warm, cuddly kind. You're not going to hang in when it starts getting heavy. It's not just you. This whole modern problem of people not really being present, it's everywhere. And technology only makes it worse. Once the robot doubles started showing up, that was the tipping point. Robot doubles. The first models were so expensive, only Silicon Valley types could afford them, like electric cars. But pretty soon it got to the point where basically anybody could afford a robot double of themselves. You could pick one up at Walmart, one aisle over from the toilet paper and the firearms. Even the company that produces my cheap-ass phones started them. They claimed they were on a mission to disrupt the human space. I hate that word, disrupt. Pretty much anything you want, but there's where you have to be careful. It acts like you, but it only performs at about 70% of your capabilities. It's you, after a bunch of drinks. So, if you're smart, you only trust it to do really simple things for you. Go to the post office, jury duty, fill in for you at your boring job. But people are lazy. They grow dependent on their robos, use them for all kinds of things they shouldn't, making complex calculations, blowing up boulders. People send their robos off to be with their wives, their families, while carrying on affairs. Check it out. Imagine you and I are in a relationship. Then you notice I'm acting a little slow. My eyes aren't focusing quite right. Like this. Look. See it? So now you realize that I've just stuck you with a pile of bolts for the evening. Right, so here we are. Two dummies out on a date together. Would your robo be smart enough to know that I'd sent mine? Or would they keep it a secret between themselves? All kinds of ethical issues, right? I don't know. I know you're trying to make your eyebrows move weirdly just to mess with me. Did someone stand me up with a robo? No, not exactly. It's more about this thing that happened to me at work once. Not here, dummy. In my former life as a flight attendant. Grab that thing and pull up a chair. I'll tell you all about it. You feel like a sack of bolts yourself doing these safety demonstrations. People are zoning out, staring at their phones like the blockheads in here, or else just leering at you like you're the first woman they've ever seen wearing a uniform. But you start getting good at spotting the doubles. They're often the only ones paying attention, staring at you with those not quite human eyes of theirs. Technically, no, they're not supposed to be there. But like I said, people bend the rules, and security rarely checks. They're fine on the runway, perfectly docile. But something goes wrong at altitude, something about the navigation system. The FAA wanted to study it, but the study got shut down because you're not supposed to have them on aircrafts in the first place. So yeah, I learned to spot them right away. It becomes a job requirement, a matter of survival. Here, try your luck. Have a look at the table. So, 1 mustard, fine. 3 mustards, not so fine. The one on the left is the real one. See if you can track it. Keep your eyes on the prize. 10 will get you 30. Very good. You have successfully enforced airline regulations. Want to play again? So, where was I? Pick that up again, and I'll show you what happened next. One time, we were doing a flight into Galveston, and we had a sudden drop of cabin pressure about 100 miles from our destination. No, but imagine this. Everyone's freaking out. I'm trying to help a girl with her arm in a cast to get her oxygen mask over her head. Suddenly, I'm aware of this Frankenstein monster lurching towards me. The robos, they're like an army of the undead. I don't know if they were affected by the sudden change in cabin pressure or what, but they just lost their shit. People are screaming, and we're huddled together like a band of villagers with pitchforks to fight these things, throwing crap at them from the drink cart, locking them in the toilets, and so on. Luckily, they started fritzing out on their own, like Hal in 2001 when his brain starts melting. Let me tell you, as soon as we got over water, adios, out you go, robos. Threw them right out of the cabin doors. Throwing the robos off the plane? No, you're right. That didn't actually happen. You can't just open the hatch door like that. But it's a nice image, right? I like to think of it sometimes when I'm lying in bed trying to sleep. Kind of. You need practice to be able to spot them. They're everywhere these days. I can see one in this diner right now, in fact. Can you find it? It's Elvis, dude. See that picture on the wall there? Trick question, I know. That's the original Robo. Can you believe it? God, I miss the king. They say that it was the first robot double prototype ever made. He actually sent it off to act in some of those cheeseball movie roles he had. That's why they were so bad. Am I? Says the guy who called his own girlfriend a robot. I seem to recall you standing right there, complaining, it's like eating lunch with an automaton. You really don't remember anything? What you were fighting about? What happened next? Well, I've got a little game that might help you remember. It's kind of like a telephone seance. Ready? Hello? Is that you? This is your girlfriend. Yes, it's me. I'm calling from beyond the grave. Why'd you bring me back here, of all places? Of all the restaurants we've been to? Couldn't you have summoned me to that place with the sour cream pierogi? See, I told you this is a good game. Okay, so, I'm your girlfriend. Somehow, I'm not with you now, and you don't know why. Except, I am with you right now. That pretty much sum it up? No, this is my game. I get to ask the questions first. What's with this gas station you're trying to get to? What are you hoping to find there?
We need to get gas in a sec. Hey, stop it!
It's like we spend 1 year falling in love and the next 4 breaking up, right? What took so long? Were you just afraid of being alone? Or maybe you didn't want to be the guilty one, the one who blows things up and hurts me. Were you waiting for permission from me to end it? Waiting for me to give you... Exactly. Waiting for an excuse. What? Right. That's why you stuck around. Fear. You didn't want to break anything. You couldn't get over the idea that this great future we were supposed to have could just be wiped out. The beacon we'd always talked about, our light in the bottle, gone. You left it to me. Put it on me to do what needed doing. Well, I finally gave you the sign you were looking for, right over at that counter there. You guys need anything else, or you're okay for now?
We're fine, thanks.
You do anything to make it different, right? To fix things. I can take you to that gas station, and I can be her for you. Together, we'll open the box. You can make it happen. You can make it real. What do you say? Miss the old times? Let me be her. Good. Now it's your turn. You can ask me one question, whatever you want. In trouble. It's cold here. The ropes. The man on the phone. Yes, the one I was texting when we were eating lunch. The man with many eyes. Yes, he has 10 eyes, like this. No. He wears them around his wrist, like a bracelet. Even while he sleeps, a few of them keep watch, their eyes open. He also wears an orange vest. Find the man with many eyes, and his friend, the man with mirror eyes. They're the ones who did this to me. Close your eyes.
Hey, where'd you go? It's like you went somewhere else there, having some irresistible dream. Good for you. You don't have to wake up, but we do need to pay the bill. Works for me. What's the sudden rush? Are you sure? If you're lucky, maybe she hasn't even gotten to the gas station yet. Well, the card has Thursday 4 p.m. written on it, right? That was 2 days ago. And need I remind you that today is... Yeah. If we leave now, we can beat her there by nearly an hour and find out who's waiting for her. Well, that's easy. If I'm made up to look like her, he'll give himself away as soon as we arrive. I have a few wigs in the car. Like I told you, I'm an expert shapeshifter. Come on. Time to be forgiven. And time to hit the road. Time to pay the check so we can get out of here.
This thing about robots is chilling. It says that 60% of the workforce won't have a job in 20 years. Hey, can you put down your phone for 3 seconds? I'm trying to have a real human connection with you, and you're so tuned out. It's like I'm eating with a robot.
I'm sorry, I know. We need to get gas in a sec. You can tell me about it while we're in the car.
Would you put that thing away?
Hey, stop it! Come on, let go!
Who is that? Who are you writing to?
God, keep your voice down. Look, I've been driving for ages. I just need to space out a little.
A little? It's like you're a million miles away.
Can you just give me a break, please?
We were just taking a break, remember? Now we're back together, but I feel this is the last place in the world you want to be.
Well, that's what I'd call a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Ain't love grand? Come on, let's get out of here. How do I look? Good. I'm a very apt pupil. A very apt pupil. Here, take my phone. Call for help the moment something looks fishy. Shoot. Right? I did, yes. Right, it was her. Yes, and? Listen, there's something at the end of this road that you don't want to find. You do, and you don't. If you only wanted to find it, there wouldn't be all this conflict. Drivers lying to you, drugging you with raisins, all the little glitches, things that don't make sense, the static. It's hardly been a smooth ride, has it? I'm just saying, there are two sides to every story, right? The argument back at the diner, maybe there was something missing for her. Something missing between the two of you. Have you stopped to think for a moment about why you keep finding these photographs? Why they are so important to you? They're a way of capturing reality, right? They're objective, but they're also you. They tell the story you want them to tell. That camera of yours, it's a weapon too. Take a photo of me, and in the photo I'll never change. I'll never grow away from you. So what did you learn back there from your photo? Oh? Oh, you have my phone. Why don't you call it then? And you think he's also this man with all the eyes? Hey, you said he has 10 of them, right? Have another look at that card. 10 little eyes. See 'em? Freaky, right? Well, almost there now. Sorry, I don't think your next ride is going to be so comfortable. No free refills and pickles with your fries. Sorry, Copernicus. I might have used you a little like you used me. Let's just say, I'm not your girlfriend, and you're not my knight in shining armor. It's nothing personal, just a simple transaction motivated by self-interest. Nothing different than what you chose back at the diner. Maybe when you chose me to be her, ring a bell? There's a price to be paid for everything on this highway. The bill always comes sooner or later. Yes, he's almost out. I'll be handing him over in a sec. Hang on, there's a third car now, a Volvo. It's pulling up. What's that doing here? What the hell? Watch it, buddy.
Yellow. Copernicus? Is that you? Let me guess. You've gotten yourself into some kind of jam. Swinging by your toes over a tiger cage? Kidnapped? That doesn't sound like part of your dream. Then again, you do have a way of making enemies. Who'd you piss off this time? Leia? Well, you only get what you deserve from her. Mind your manners and she's liable to bring you a free refill. Rub her the wrong way, and she might just spit in it. She wants to give us the benefit of the doubt, but we seem to be making it hard for her. Speaking of which, did you find the box, Copernicus? Have you opened it yet? Figure out a way to open that box, Copernicus. Inside, you'll find out who you really are. Don't mess with him, kid. He's the final gatekeeper. Way too strong. You need to learn the spell first, before you can go up against him. Hey, if I knew it, I'd tell you. But let's start by getting you out of that box. Lucky for you, I've got my Farmer's Almanac here. Let's have a look. Hang on. See, cabbage, caraway, carrot, car trunk. First thing you should do is reach around for the latch. Sounds kind of obvious. Okay, next step. See if you can scare up the brake lights. Can you find them? It's a little gizmo with some wires. Okay. Yank on the wires and try to pull the lights into the trunk with you. Got them? What color are the lights? We need a green light, kid. A steady green light. That's the way forward. Gotta run now. Good luck to you, kid.
ما أدري شو تسوي بسيارتي، بس من خبرتي بهذا المكان راح تسح بعدين. إنجليش. آسف، ما أدري هاي مو صدق، بس أنا أشعر بيه كان من صدق حجة سعر. كل شيء هنا إلها دلالة رمزية، السترن، الجير ولا القرن على الدشبول. حاسة حتى لو أحد إيدي من السترن السيارة من كيف تمشي عدل، بس من أقوم أشوف إنه هذا جنهلم. إيه معود على كيفك، أريد أوقف. And the sweet fireflies, they dance in the night. They are stumbling on my way back to you. I'm sitting here, my gaze is drifting over the horizon. And I lost my memory on the only way over to nowhere. And the tyrants race over the glowing asphalt, and I try to find an image of you. And the sweet fireflies, they dance in the night. They are stumbling on my way back to you. I'm sitting. How would I know? It's not even my car. No idea. I find myself behind the wheel here night after night. And the trunk, that's my dream too. You don't want to know how many hours I've spent in there, trying to shift my legs to keep them from falling asleep. What do you mean? Whose guard? Yours? Why should I know? What makes you think you can turn up out of thin air and interrogate me? Who are you anyway? I'm not sure actually. But here, it's funny. On this highway, everybody calls me Al-Shatir. Copernicus, huh? Suddenly, this doesn't seem so arbitrary. Never heard of Ibn al-Shatir? A famous astronomer. I guess you don't learn about him in your schools. One of the forefathers of astronomy, in many ways a predecessor to... Yes, that's right. Copernicus, Al-Shatir. Two iconoclasts from different lands who challenged the belief that the sun revolves around the earth. Two dreamers who had the conviction that their unique consciousness is not the only thing in the center of the universe. Maybe you're not just part of my story, like I'm not part of yours. You were trapped in the trunk, where I've been many times. It's like you've wandered into my dream, and I've wandered into yours. How should I know? Somehow the streams have crossed. Disturbance in space-time continuum. Me? Yes, safety. A place far away from wars. From bombings. From the cockroaches that crawl out as soon as the dust settles. On the news, you hear only about armies and religious madmen. But it's the gangsters that drove me away. They're the ones who did this to me. The El Mahdi army. They called themselves an army anyway. They were looking for my brother-in-law because he worked as a translator for the US military. Neighbors warned us we should move, and so we did, twice. Luckily, no. He was safe with the army, beyond their reach. A few years passed and we forgot about the threat. Life had returned to normal, and that's when they came back and picked me up. 2 days later, when I woke up in a Baghdad hospital, I found out that they dumped me off there and told the hospital that I'd hurt myself in a work accident. Yes, after that, I couldn't stay. The women in my family, my mother, my sisters, they were the only ones who knew. I was very close to the women in my family. They were the ones who were around all the times while I was recovering. The men, my father, my brothers, always working, always out of the house. I got on a plane to Istanbul, where my cousin lived. He took me to Izmir, where the smugglers are. They're easy to find. I bought a space on a vessel, headed to Mytilene, Greece, the closest harbor in Europe. Just a simple raft, but not as overcrowded as in some of the stories you hear. I was lucky, at least in the beginning. We couldn't leave for 5 days. Too many Greek army ships in the sea. Every morning, getting up at 3:30 to make a go of it. By the 5th day, I was so tired of waiting that I wasn't even scared to get on board any longer. Finally, impatience had overtaken fear. We did not make it to Europe. A boat pulls up next to us. People are trying to understand what's going on, but the men on the ship only speak Greek. At first, people are worried that it's pirates. They take everything from the passengers. Sometimes take the passengers themselves. Sometimes just ram the boat and laugh as it sinks. But no, these are police, it turns out. They take us back to Turkey, where I'm waiting, and waiting, and waiting. Of course, I did not remember all this in my dreams at first. These were things I remembered from clues I found along the highway. I've dreamed this highway, this car before, many times. It's a good question. I had an uncle once, who left Iraq many years ago to study engineering at the University of Bowling Green. I guess this made an impression on me. Who knows why we dream the things we dream? What is your dream about? A breakup? That's it? Ah, that's more like it. Who has been kidnapped? Who's this person that's been taken away from you? Do you have a photo? Who knows? Maybe I've seen her somewhere along this highway. I know her, the same woman, but with different hair color. I just saw her at the gas station a few miles back. An imposter? But she waits tables at Dante's, right? Betrayed by a friend. That's a familiar note to me. And yet, the waitresses at Dante's usually play it straight down the line. They can dish it out, but they only give you what you deserve. See, that was your first mistake. In this place, it's important to see things for what they really are. Keep them pinned down. The moment you start shifting things around to suit your needs, well, you're like Pandora, opening the box. She was standing with two men. It looked tense, like she was defensive about something, explaining herself. I don't think they fully believed her. Not exactly. There was a lot of pointing at the passenger seat in her car and shrugging. It seemed they'd lost something. Or someone. The leader, he seemed very unhappy. A guy in an orange vest. A trap? So they were looking for you? Sounds like getting in my dream. Getting in the trunk. May have saved your neck. No, I didn't get a look. I just heard one strange thing they said. That they were looking for a guy with 8 fingers. They were going to find him. Something like that. 8 fingers. 8 digits, maybe. Uh-huh. And you wouldn't happen to have a strange blue box with you, would you? That was the other thing they mentioned. They have the key, but don't want the box opened. Well, if they were chasing you... Say, have you noticed how many tumbleweeds there are suddenly? I don't know, but the weather also seems to be turning suddenly. Turn on the radio and see if you can find a weather report. My God! Get that thing off the window! Get it off! Get it off! It seems to be changing the weather conditions.
Answers. Spring riddles and Madigan Hill. Presents.
Sunny skies. Sunny skies. Sunny skies today, and we could hardly ask for better weather. A balmy 72 degrees, with mild breezes throughout the day, although there is only a 10% chance of rain. Sunny skies. Sunny skies. Sunny skies today, and we could hardly ask for better weather. A balmy 72 degrees, with mild breezes throughout the day. Although there is a sunny skies today, and we could hardly ask for better weather. A balmy 72 degrees, with mild breezes throughout the day.
To zest the Central Valley.
Sunny skies today. Sunny skies today, and we could hardly ask for better weather. A balmy 72 degrees, with mild breezes throughout the day. Although there is only a 10% chance of rain, this good weather can't last forever.
Suddenly, it's sunny. It's not working. They're stuck to the car. We need some other kind of weather to get clear of them.
Glass is clean.
Level 3 thunderstorm. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Damaging winds are causing some...
Warning,
Looks
tornado
like
60
tornado
feet from
conditions
car.
Look, the tornado. It's starting to pull the tumbleweeds off the car, but it's not strong enough.
Warning, tornado.
It worked. Oh, good riddance. Look, that was very strange, even for this place. And the eyes on those things. It seemed they were spying, searching for something. Did you notice? What do you know about these guys? The ones who are after you? Oh, let's see. Balkan tours? Not directly, no. But I've heard about them. From a guy in Istanbul I met. He had made it through to Europe, but then had come back to get his family. But that's another story. He had come across these Balkan tours on his way back from Serbia. He warned everyone about them who would listen. Apparently, they had a charitable program to help refugees, promising to help them. But no one who accepted their help was ever seen from again. People just disappeared. And it wasn't just people in the refugee community either. Tourists too. They were strange stories. I only heard bits and pieces. Nothing very clear. Mirrors. Rooms full of mirrors. People losing their minds and never coming back. Yes, people who were heading from Turkey into Croatia and Serbia were being warned about it. Watch out for mirrors. Rooms full of mirrors. Rooms full of ice. Well, my friend, I think right now the best thing you can do is run for safety. They probably have a good beat on your location, assuming the tumbleweeds were on their payroll. Make no mistake, these guys are dangerous. Honestly, I have no idea. But tangling with Balkan tours right now would be suicide. I mean, it's what they want, isn't it? Right. Where did you get the box? They must be worried about what's inside. Worried it will expose them, all the things they have done, to her and to all the other people they've hurt. I wish I knew. Even if I make it to my destination, I'm still not home. That's what it means to be an exile. My niece, Nadia, used to ask me that question all the time. Where are you going, uncle? She was the only young person who knew I was leaving. Imagine, she knew when my father didn't. I was always mad at my sister for telling her. She would ask me that when I was putting her to bed. The only thing you can tell when a person that young asks you a question like that at bedtime. I told her the truth. Not the truth, but the truth wrapped in the blanket of a story. There's a place where the river Tigris runs through Baghdad. A place called the Two-Story Bridge. When I was a kid, I would go fishing there and look out at the water and wonder where it all led. As a child, I was told that the farthest place on the earth from Baghdad is a place called Fiji. I would train my eyes on the horizon and imagine that all the water led there, to the point where the sky met the earth. To my child's mind, Fiji was the place where the sky touches the earth. These people of Fiji, they must be very tolerant people to live in such a place where one has to stoop over at all times and can never stand up straight. Eventually, they resolved to leave and find a new home, where the sky was farther from the earth, where the pandanus tree can grow high enough to be woven. So, they left this land right under the sky, leaving behind those people so old and bent that they no longer cared to stand up straight. The other Fijians gradually moved away from the edge of the world, and the sky got a little higher, and then they found a marvelous place. It was fertile and lush, with excellent weather, an orange tree for every backyard. But there was one problem: earthquakes. Terrible earthquakes, as frequent as rains during the springtime in this country. All because the sky was still close to the earth. When there's thunder, it echoes off the roof of the sky and causes the ground to break. But the Fijians adjusted. They built their entire civilization out of rubber. Rubber houses with rubber beds that would sway during the quakes, with rubber restraints that would hold the sleeping Fijians tight while they dreamed. But Nadia didn't want a bedtime story about that. She wanted a story about good and evil, the kind of story children like. So I changed it for her to be about a Fijian princess called Nadia, who finds the source of all the earthquakes. So, Nadia finds a dragon hiding under the earth. A dragon with a splinter in its toe, whose terrible roaring causes the earth to break. Nadia slays the dragon and saves the people by uttering a magic spell. Gonothi se auton. Gonothi se auton. It's actually Greek. Rolls right off the tongue, no? Okay, that was interesting. Can you say that again? All the mirror eyes closed. Seems like it. And look, that's not the spell's only power. The card. There's a phone number on it now. Do you know what this means? I think you're ready to make a certain phone call. Right, ready to put your spell to use? Good. Do you have a phone? Even better. So, here's the plan. You call them. And tell them you want to sign up for a tour. Here's the thing. If they act like they're taking you on a tour, everything is good. But if they've figured you out, they'll try to distract you while they kidnap you. Take it from me. They tell you someone you care about is in danger. But don't believe it. If everything's fine, then everything's fine. But if someone you know is in danger, it's a trap. Get out of there. Are you ready? Dial the number.
Yep, what can I help you with? That's a big park. You near the Argus gas station on Route 90? Alright, I'll pick you up in an hour. You don't have a car, do you? Just guess from your voice. So, see you in an hour. Don't worry, I'll find you.
So, it worked then? I think you'll be fine. Just keep the spell close at hand. And remember, if they start telling you someone close had been hurt, it's a trap. It's a few minutes before 3:30 in Istanbul. There's another raft waiting. Another try. Thanks. To you too. I think you'll be fine. You have allies all along this road, even in the cars of enemies. I've left something for you.
Hey, sorry I haven't written in a while. Hey, sorry I haven't written in a while. It took me all morning just to figure out where to buy stamps here. So, I'm sending you something from my trip, like I promised. Last week, I was at yet another barbecue. People here really enjoy their pork chops, let me tell you. There was this old-timer there, the host's father. He was talking about inflation during the war years. He ran upstairs to get something he was excited to show me. He comes back down with a 50 billion dinar bill. He starts talking about, at the time they printed it, inflation was so bad that in the morning it could buy one sandwich. By lunchtime, it could buy half a sandwich. It's a beautiful piece of printing, don't you think? All these O's lined up next to each other. Anyway, keep it tucked away for safekeeping. The big piece of news on my end is that yesterday, I finally tackled my fear of heights. Your humble correspondent from the Balkans went hang gliding. Yes, me. Hard to believe, I know. I wasn't gonna do it, but this tour guide guy I met talked me into it, facing my fears and all that. But then the tour guide takes me to the hill where they do the hang gliding, and they're talking about the most crazy thing that happened the week before. You're not going to believe this. It's a tandem dive, so they have you strapped in with an instructor, right? Well, last week they strapped someone in, but the instructor forgot to strap himself in securely. They go running off the cliff and the instructor tumbles down the hill. The instructor was okay, just some bruises. But now the other person is stuck up in the air with no idea how to fly the thing. Everyone on the ground is freaking out, yelling instructions up in the air about what to do. The girl said later that once she got over the initial terror, it was like she'd been flying a hang glider all her life. It must have been exhilarating, conquering that first wave of fear. And once you're up there, it is amazing. The best thing is that you look down and there are these tiny white cotton ball things on the ground, and then you realize they're sheep. It's not so hard to steer either once you get the hang of it. Today, when I was looking for stamps, I bought one of those inspirational refrigerator magnets in a tourist shop. It says, "Do one thing every day that scares you." I know you think this kind of thing is cheesy, but I actually think it's profound. we can do stuff like this on our road trip together. Can we? Sometimes I hate how we live in Seattle, just sitting around in our own heads all the time. I feel like it's the reason we've been arguing more lately before I left. If you don't shake the fear out of your system on a regular basis, it curdles up into anger. I don't want to be angry. Well, time for your idealistic correspondent to sign off. I'm so used to writing emails that it hurts my hand to write a real letter now. How sad is that? But I promise to write more often. And what about you? I don't expect a real letter, but an email would be great. How is everything going? How did it go with that California assignment? The thing about grape farmers? That was this week, right? I miss you. I feel a little nervous about coming back home to you, but a little nervousness is nothing to worry about. That's what I've learned here. Fear is the mind killer. Love you.
Geez, there you are. Nice of you to grace us with your presence. I've been looking all over for you. You were supposed to be waiting by the post office, remember? Look, we've all got a lot on our minds since the accident. I don't have time to drive all over Mankato looking for you. Barely gotten any sleep since it happened. Duh, the accident, right? Craig, sure, it's only because of him that I'm picking you up. Honestly, some of us weren't so happy about the idea of having you around in the hospital. But he made a good case for you in that altruistic way of his. Said, we're not here to pass judgment. What? Hang on. Shut up. This isn't just any kind of phone call. Yes. No. I know. No, he turned up eventually. Yeah, he's sitting right here. Do you want to talk to him? Should I put him on live with you? No, I didn't think so. Yes. Okay, I'll wait then. What? It's called a headset. It's a good way to not wreck your car while you're using a phone. Something I would think you'd be very invested in at this point. Look, it was an accident, I know. Sorry. But you just don't pull a phone out of someone's hand while they're behind the wheel. You should have known better.
This is Skycam from KTOE, reporting to you from Mankato. For those of you heading south on I-169 on your Copernicus, expect some delays around the Route 14
What?
junction. Don't say anything. He can't hear me. Only you can. Listen, don't say a word. Do you have that locked box? If you do, roll down the window as a sign.
Hey, do you mind? I'm trying to listen to this.
It's okay. You can close it now. No point in making him angry over nothing. Okay, good. You can't let these guys get a hold of that box. He may even have the key on him, this guy. They're taking you to her, but you have to be careful. You need to figure out how much they know.
To the hospital. Is this funny to you? Because it's not to me. Do you really want to go there? You really want to talk about this? Now? Of all moments? Fine. Listen, I know that she wasn't honest with you, that she couldn't bring herself to be straightforward about her feelings. I know it hurts you, man. But you two'd been growing apart for a while. In the end, she just wanted to be with someone more dedicated. That's the direction she was growing in. It didn't happen overnight, but the trip to Europe and meeting Craig, yeah, that was a big part of it. Oh, is that what you tell yourself? That all this is somehow his fault? Fine, whatever. Yes, we're all working against you. Are you satisfied now? Because this is hardly the time to bring your hurt feelings out onto the stage. Can I tell you something? You're a great photographer, I mean, nobody doubts that, man. But at some point, if people keep screwing you over, keep betraying you, at a certain point, if everywhere you go, people keep being assholes to you, well, guess what? Maybe you're the asshole. The radio? Sure, go ahead.
Copernicus, there's no time to lose. You have to act quickly now, before he puts that helmet on again. Use this bell. Stop him.
What? Yeah, know thyself. That's what I'm talking about. Gnathi Seaton, Greek for know thyself. That's a good start. I know you've had a rough 24 hours, but we all have. I mean, she's my sister after all.
He's lying.
Hang on again, I gotta get this. Yeah, I'm here. We'll be there in just a few minutes. Yeah, he tried it just like we expected. No, I'm fine. Yeah, I agree. It's time to call his bluff.
Step on the brake. Stop him. Do it. Step on the brake.
Ah, what are you doing? Let go. Visiting hours are until 7, so yes, you'll get a chance to see her.
She thinks you've caused some kind of accident.
Visiting hours are until 7, so yes, you'll get a chance to see her.
She thinks you've caused some kind of accident. You two came by my house, yes? See, that's my silo. There in the background.
That was some argument.
I'm going away for 2 months. I'll be back before you know it. Here's a security deposit. I'm I'm going away for 2 months. I'll be back before you know it. It's great, right? I'll send you something special from Europe to put inside. I wasn't gonna do it, but this tour guide guy I met talked me into it. So I'm sending you something from my trip, like I promised. It's a beautiful piece of printing, don't you think? All these O's lined up next to each other.
You two came by my house, yes? See, that's...
The argument back at the diner, maybe there was something missing for her.
Find the man with many eyes. They're the ones who did this to you. He has 10 eyes. He wears them around his wrist, like a bracelet.
Help me! Save me from this man! Help me! Save me from this man!
Oh, please, I think you flew into the bottle on purpose. What are you, the public defender to all things living?
Fireflies can't talk. Someone has to speak up for him. If the 6 tiny mittens don't fit, you must acquit.
Yeah, I'll set it free in a minute. I just think this light is incredible.
Let's keep him as our pet.
Now is being cruel. I think I'll always remember this.
This is one of those nights, right?
One of what nights?
We'll always have this. If you ever get to a point where you feel like you've lost me, all you have to do is find your way back to here and sit down beside me.
I hope the grass isn't so wet next time.
I'm serious. Write a note to your future self and put it in this bottle. If there's ever a point where things have gotten totally screwed up between us, that moment isn't real. This one is. All you have to do is find your way back to me.
What if I can't find the way?
That's why I've made you this beacon. A bottle with a green light to show you the way. Sense of direction isn't exactly your strong suit, Copernicus. Let's make a pact. With this honorable firefly as witness. I promise my screwed up future self won't mess this up for us.
I don't know. My future self can be a real jerk.
Mine too. We're going to make mistakes. Hurt each other. Everyone does it. So, time traveler, what news? What wisdom do you bring from the future?
That it's never too late. That any mistake can be fixed.
Good, if that's what you believe.